Is anybody listening to me yet? Allie, Nikki. Hi, Allie and Nikki. So it's kind of funny because I totally and fully forgot that I had an MC for today. And I was ready to just kind of go with it um, and do the broadcast on my own. And then I got a text from said MC who was like, okay, I'm having problems with my computer, but I'm restarting. I'll be right with you. And I was like, yeah, I remembered you were doing it. Not. But now here we are 2 minutes over, and she's still having problems with her computer, so I might end up having to do it anyway. So, so just kind of waiting to see if, she's ever gonna come back. So tonight we have two races. They're both very small fields, but they're very nice fields. The first of those is the Midsummer Oaks, a mile and a quarter on the dirt for 3-year-old fillies, and the next is the Midsummer Classic. And what's weird about the races tonight is if you've joined us through the whole Triple Crown series and, you were with us for Dragonfly's Triple Crown sweep and then You Are Special won the Oaks. And point being, none of those horses are here today. In a weird twist, like all the big guns that we saw for the first half of the year, they all are skipping this event. That never happens. So we have kind of the B stringers who are trying to become A stringers. They're going to be running over a wet track today. The surface is good. And there's a lot of horses that are running that are really going to love the mile and a quarter, especially in the Midsummer Classic. You get a rematch between Kaiser Soze and Circle of Life, and they don't have to face Dragonfly. And Dragonfly is going week 9 to week 14, which is kind of a tough assignment. I'm not having so much of a problem with that because I'm sure he'll get a work. I'm more worried about his week 14 to week 16. So it'll be interesting to see if these week 12 horses do a little bit better than Dragonfly does week 16, or if he, just trounces them because he's Dragonfly and that's kind of what he does. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and preview the Midsummer Oaks because apparently there's a lot of screaming going on, waiting to see if, Skype will work. Yeah. Don't forget to bet on this race. The betting pool is currently only $3,000. First up on the rail, we have Where It Began, who is a steward bred who will be coming back to the steward. That's me. Owned by Laura Ferguson. She is a Messiah filly out of Memories, and Memories was a millionaire, a grade 1 winner from a very nice female family. And so far, she's been like okay as a broodmare, but not like the best. So, I'm just discovering that Laura has a stakes level 2-year-old from this mare that she has not even named. What up with that? Anyway, this filly is coming off a 4th place finish in the Grade 1 Toronto Oaks against horses that she'll be facing today. Before that, she did win the Little Lamb Stakes at a mile and an eighth. This will be her first try at a mile and a quarter, as it will be for most of the horses, and she has a top lifetime speed figure of a 91. Next up, we have Soothe Your Fear, who was also bred by the steward but is owned by Art Vandelay. This is a keyboard courage filly out of a War Daddy mare. So this filly will love a mile and a quarter. This is like the race for her. She did run at a mile and a quarter already. She's one of the rare fillies in here who've run that far. And she won that race, but it was a non-winners of 3. That was 2 back. Last time out, she was 3rd in the Toronto Oaks. The 2 fillies that beat her that day are not here. So that's interesting. And she has a good lifetime record. She's never been worse than 3rd. So if we had trifectas, this is the kind of horse you would definitely play. Is she as good as these? Art Vandelay seems to think so. To me, she has to prove it because some of the other fillies in here are just a little bit faster. Next up, we have Lady So Divine, and this is the filly who won the Long Island Acorn Week 9. That is a mile and a half race. She ran third in the Louisville Oaks. She probably doesn't want to go that short because she is by URIM out of a highly regarded mare, which screams mile and a half. So the question is, does she want to go this short, or is this going to be too short for her? She was a mile and a 16th winner last year, and she did win a mile and an eighth prep earlier this year. But I think we can all agree that this filly is more likely to end up in the ladies' route than in the distaff. Erin Sanderson, she's fallen off the face of the earth. Apparently, that's what happens when you get a boyfriend. Aaron's all in love and ditching the sim. Sheesh. Next up from the 4 hole is All That I Dreamed, a homebred for Cleopatra, and this is a very weirdly bred filly, and I say that nicely because she's by Fargo, and Fargo is a triple distance type of sire. He ended up running best at a mile, but he was okay at a mile, 16th, mile and eighth, and he sprinted at the end of his career because why not? She's out of a Vortex mare, which, so to me, this is screaming that this horse wants like a mile and an eighth tops. Last out, she won at a mile and a quarter in a non-winners of 3. That was in Colorado, but it was also over a wet track. Is this going to be like the upset that makes us all be like, wow, we should have been paying attention and betting on that horse? Her last time running against Grade 1 company, she did finish 10th, but that was in the Stewards Cup last year. What do we make of this filly? She has a fastest lifetime speed figure of 89. She's won half of her 6 lifetime starts. Could be a long shot play. 2 more to go with 2 minutes to post. Next up is Some Other Girl for Danny Derby, and this is one that I bred by Our Lions Reel out of a Night Fury mare. I bred this one with this race in mind. I absolutely wanted to have this filly go a mile and a quarter. So after running 6th in the Louisville Oaks, Danny Derby said, well, forget those other Triple Crown type races for fillies. They're all too short. And he found back-to-back mile and a quarter grade ones. Some Other Girl won them both with a 91 and a 90. She loves a mile and a quarter. To me, this is the favorite today because she's 5 for 8 lifetime, $500,000 earned, one of the fastest horses in the race. This is the horse to beat, in my opinion. Lastly, we have Heartbeat for Brandon McNulty. This filly is by Linguistics, who was a precocious marathoner type. He was very nice at 2, but he liked marathoning best. She's out of a Windseeker mare, so that's a little bit confusing because we're looking at a horse who's by a mile and a half sire out of a mile and a 16th mare. Brandon McNulty paid $1.3 million for this filly, and she has been very good. She missed the Long Island Acorn by a neck, and that was after winning the Baltimore Oaks, so she's clearly grade 1 caliber. Before that, she lost to Lady So Divine, so that horse happens to be her rival. In the last 4 starts, she's won twice and been second twice. So, to me, this horse is very live today. She did not like going short as a 2-year-old. She's much happier now that she's older. And she should be a nice broodmare too. So that is the field for the Midsummer Oaks. Make sure you get your bets in on the pick 6, pick 4 daily double. That's all about to close in 1 minute. I'm giving you 1 more minute to bet. Thanks, Pete Vella, for pointing out the time that Dan Gordon won the daily double twice. That was actually pretty amazing. It made me laugh. I didn't notice it myself, so. It is post time for the Midsummer Oaks. Betting pool closes at $13,500 and a field of 6 going a mile and a quarter. They're off in the Midsummer Oaks, and Some Other Girl stumbled at the start, but she gets up now and she's sent after the rest of the field. It is All That I Dreamed who goes out to the lead. Soothe Your Fear is going to sit back next, and then Lady So Divine. Those 3 have a length on the rest of the field that are tightly grouped. Some Other Girl, Where It Began, and Heartbeat. They're 3 across the track as they come past us the first time and are under the wire with 1 mile left to go. It is All That I Dreamed leading by a length, then Soothe Your Fear. Lady So Divine sits third, and then the rest of them are in a tumble. It's Some Other Girl, Where It Began, and Heartbeat all together at the back. So they go up the backstretch, and it's All That I Dreamed leading by 2. She's on a long rein, and she is happy. Soothe Your Fear sits second, and she's got 3 lengths on Lady So Divine. Please don't text me while I'm calling a race. It's really confusing. And then Where It Began. Some Other Girl is fifth, and then Heartbeat is still the trailer. She needs to get going as they go around the far turn. And All That I Dreamed is still clear by a length. She's led every step of the way. Here comes Lady So Divine after her. Lady So Divine up second now. Some Other Girl starts her move. Soothe Your Fear has dropped back badly. Soothe Your Fear. She looks like she's being eased. Where It Began, and then Heartbeat's coming on. They're at the top of the stretch, and All That I Dreamed, she spits the bit, and we have a new leader. It's Lady So Divine. Lady So Divine. She's running away from them now. Where It Began, Some Other Girl, not today. Some Other Girl can't get them, then All That I Dreamed. But it is Lady So Divine, and an easy win in the Midsummer Oaks. She's going to win by a length. Where It Began and Some Other Girl second, third, then All That I Dreamed and Heartbeat. The official winner is Lady So Divine. She's a 3-year-old bay filly by URIM out of High Dreams by Highly Regarded. She is a homebred for Aaron Sanderson, and this is her 6th win in 8 starts. She is now a 3-year-old millionaire. Next up, we have the Midsummer Classic, the big race on the day, especially if you own one of these fancy 3-year-old males. Another field of 6, and in shockingly exciting news, our MC is here. So to take over, here is Rebecca Rose Hepburn.
Hey guys, you ever have a day when you don't check things ahead of time and stuff doesn't work when it's supposed to and you're late for the broadcast? That was such a good time today. So, congrats to you, Aaron, and let us go on to our feature race of the day, the Midsummer Classic. You can actually open up the race to look at it. Because today is just about Rebecca Rose Hepburn failing at getting stuff done on time. Our first horse in the Midsummer Classic is probable favorite Circle of Life. Circle of Life is owned and bred by Danny Derby. He is out of the fabulous mare Wish Upon a Star that we all wish that we owned. He's coming into this race off a second place finish in the Long Island Classic, where Danny Derby was finally taken down by somebody in Susie Rasher, winning the Triple Crown. Earlier in his career, though, he's a Grade 1 winner, winning the Kentucky Blue Stakes, also winning the Tremendous Stakes earlier this year. He is absolutely bred to want this distance, and he's just a very fancy horse in general, so he's your probable favorite, although that is not the best starting post. Post position 2, we have Steelheart. He is a steward bred, sold for almost $11 million to Michael Looker. Last out, Steelheart won the Grade $1 million Queen's Derby by a nose over Happy This Way, and a neck back to my horse Direwolf, who is officially fired. Steelheart finished 4th in the Derby and 6th in the Baltimore Crown, but before that he did win the Sun Devil Derby earlier this year with a 91 speed figure. This is what I think is a very nice horse who was kind of knocked on the door for a while and then finally got his big win in the Queen's Derby last out. He is by Man of Mystery and out of Chocolate, who is one of the better mares in the game, a dam of horses like Brilliantly and Sherwood. He should love a mile and a quarter, and I think there's no reason that he can't step up and win $2 million races back to back. Next up, we have, I think it's Key, or is it K? Sapa, owned and bred by Paul Heinrich. This is the son of Paul's very fancy mare Paha Sapa, who was famous for loving distance. Kehi Sapa comes into this race off a win in the Grade 1 El Rival Decade Stakes, Week 10 over Spoken. Before that, he was a winner in the Grade 3 Mustang Park Derby. It's interesting to note for a horse with his pedigree that he's actually never won past a mile and an eighth. And he bombed an attempt at a mile and 3/16 week 5, which I would find very surprising considering it was just a non-winners of 2. But he is classy horse. He has run some good races, and with his pedigree, you should think that he'd want to get this distance. So he's only won 273,000 so far, but Paul's hoping that he'll add a nice $500,000 paycheck today. Next up, post 4 is Happy This Way, owned by Art Vandelay, the king of the dirt routers, bred by the steward, sold to Art for $13.5 million. This boy is by Easy on the Eyes and out of the Fancy Mare Just One Kiss. Last out, Happy This Way was short nose behind Steelheart in the Queen's Derby. Happy This Way took a 5-race win streak into the Derby, and then we all know how that went. He was third in the Baltimore Crown. There's no reason why he shouldn't come back to the winner's circle at this point. You know, this is a horse that has run a 100 speed figure before in his career. He's very classy, and it's about time that Art won something big again, right? I mean, he's due, right? So, I love you, Art. Just gotta take a dig at you sometimes. Next up, we have Kaiser Soze for Laura Ferguson. He is a homebred. He's coming into this race off a solid 3rd place finish in the Long Island Classic. Kaiser Soze went into the Derby undefeated, finished 2nd place behind Dragonfly. He was only a neck behind, so he was really close in the Derby. And then went 5th place in the Baltimore Crown, 3rd place in the Long Island Classic. I think this horse is the biggest threat to Circle of Life. There's no reason that he shouldn't rebound and win something big. I think that he will win something very big in his career because he's a lore horse and he's exceptionally well bred. His dam inspiration is a daughter of Chocolate, so that's the same line there as Happy This Way. Overall, he's a very fancy horse, and I really think that he has a good shot in this race. And that's kind of technically our field. The last horse, Joyride for John Exet, is really just an example of how you can get a steward bred that's a really, really sad horse. So maybe if you snip it and throw it in a maiden race, not the Midsummer Classic, but I mean, John Exet is a wizard, so if there's anybody in the sim that can get this horse to break his maiden in the Midsummer Classic, it would be John Exet. And with that, we have 5 minutes to post. Do you want it? Okay, I have to wing it for 3 more minutes. Let's see. Real life racing tomorrow. It features the Big Cap, which is something I'm going to, which I'm very excited about. Although I think the horse that I am most excited to see tomorrow is Dortmund, because I've always loved him ever since he was 2 years old, and it really goes to show that I have a talent for falling in love with horses that really suck along the way. He needs to get his rear in gear. And yeah. Oh, about the California flooding. Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. That was the second time that my living room was flooded. At least last time it flooded, I was in Arizona. So at least I was home for this and putting sandbags in my living room and talking to the maintenance guy, going, "Oh, there's really nothing that we can do." And you know, it's super, super awesome tastic. Maybe I should buy a boat. I thought I might need a boat because everything flooded down here for a while, and just really, really hoping that it doesn't flood my freaking living room again. That was that was pretty ridiculous, but it's not supposed to rain anymore. It's not supposed to flood out. It's not supposed to flood out Santa Anita, which is good because I would really like to see some nice racing um tomorrow. So I don't know. Hi, how are you guys? What's up with you? I am not. I know I'm. Hey, you just told me to wing it. I didn't have anything. I had nothing. Now you turn it over to the steward who is saving me. Thank you, Em.
Wow, that was some exceptional 8-minute emceeing that just happened there. And yes, I will give you trouble for it. But she missed the whole beginning part, so she doesn't know my half of it. Someone can tell her one day, and it will be funny. So, I have a story that has nothing to do with anything sim related or real horse racing related. So, I probably shouldn't be telling it, but I'm telling it anyway. Um, so I've been thinking about getting a second dog for a long time, but you know, it's never a great time to get a second dog. When is a good time to get a second dog if you have too many animals and children? And yesterday there was a post for an urgent foster needed for an elderly dog that needed to go somewhere, and so I was like, I'll take her. And so I just went and got her, and that's how I spent my day yesterday. And she like really worried me yesterday because all she did was drink water and sleep. That's all she would do. She wouldn't get up. Like I literally had to drag her with force to get her to go outside because she didn't want to get up. I was like, this dog is messed up. I think I got a lemon dog. Yeah. So then this morning, the dog's like a completely different animal, and she's clever. And she tested all three cat food Tupperwares and found the one where the lid was slightly loose and flipped it off and ate the cat food out of it, like in the blink of an eye. It happened so fast, and she's like a ninja. She's really sweet and cuddly looking, and she likes to sleep a lot. And then if you take your eyes off her, she knocked over my recycling bin, which was sitting on top of the dog treats, and then she ripped open the box of dog treats and ate the dog treats, and I was standing right there. So, yeah. She doesn't really have manners. She did go up the steps this morning. Yesterday, she didn't know how to do stairs. She's never seen a mirror in her life, so she saw herself in the mirror today and she was like, ah, and like freaked out and ran around like a lunatic. But then I was downstairs and I heard her crying. Well, she didn't know how to go down the stairs, so she's like weird. She's really cute. She's just a foster. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday I was going to keep her. Today I'm like, you're Looney Tunes. Anyway, 1 minute to post. For the $1 million Midsummer Classic, $42,600 in the betting pool, which I love. Two millionaires in here, the two big rivals, Circle of Life and Kaiser Soze, but there's no doubt that at least Steelheart and Happy This Way, and probably Kasapa eventually, will all be millionaires too. So, in retrospect, we think this is going to be an excellent field, like down the line. Okay, not making sense. Gonna call the race. Field of six set to go. A mile and a quarter. $42,600 in the pool. They're off, and it was a perfect start for all six runners in the Midsummer Classic. Circle of Life has speed, joined by Steelheart and Quesapa. Those three go out to lead it early. 3 lengths back already to Kaiser Soze, who takes back off the pace, then Joyride, and Happy This Way drops out last, six of the bunch. So they come down past us the first time, and Circle of Life, he now has a length on Steelheart and Quesapa. Those two are neck and neck. 3 lengths back to Kaiser Soze, then Joyride, and Happy This Way is the trailer. Around the clubhouse turn and Circle of Life still leads by a length. Steelheart and Quesapa are behind him, and they're starting to string out with Kaiser Soze about 7 lengths off the pace. Joyride is sitting fifth ahead of Happy This Way, who bides his time. And as they run down the backstretch with 5 furlongs left to go, it is still Circle of Life. He has it all his own way. Steelheart tracking him and Quesapa. There's no Dragonfly in here today to scare them. Kaiser Soze is fourth, but gaining ground. Joyride, now he's joined by Happy This Way. Happy This Way passes him as they go around the far turn. It is Circle of Life, and he's leading by 2. They're going to have to reel him in. Circle of Life. Steelheart is second. Quesapa and Kaiser Soze, he's coming on now. Happy This Way needs to get going. They're at the top of the stretch. Circle of Life, he's still leading by 2, now 3. Circle of Life, he's in a runaway today. Kaiser Soze charging down the center of the track. He's joined Steelheart, and those two are clear of Happy This Way. But it's Circle of Life, a runaway winner in the Midsummer Classic. Circle of Life, 3 lengths to Kaiser Soze and Steelheart. Photo finish between those two, then Happy This Way and K-Suppa. The stewards are taking a look at the photo for second between Steelheart and Kaiser Soze, but the official winner is Circle of Life. He's a 3-year-old chestnut colt by Messiah out of Wish Upon a Star by Maelstrom. He is owned by Danny Derby and was bred by Danny Derby. This is his 5th win in 8 starts. The results of that photo are in, and it was a dead heat for second place between Steelheart and Kaiser Soze. A length back to Happy This Way 4th. We will not be with you again until week 16 Thursday, week 16 day 4, for the Stewards Cup 2-year-old races, the Stars of Tomorrow program. Cannot wait to see you all there. Unless I get crazy week 14 Friday and do a thing with like the Ark and Dragonfly's return to the races. I could see me doing that if I get crazy. Thank you to Rebecca Rose Hepburn for showing up, and we'll see you all later.